Okay, we're back with another Vietnam Captain night, but this time it won't be myself conducting the mission. It will be Commander Arhat, Mike himself, will be taking control of tonight's story. So we will leave the hands of the Drake in his hands. But before we let him start trouble with Tamm, we're going to do some housekeeping. So the first thing we'll do right off the bat is how do we want to go about you putting your character in?
I thought what we had decided to do was like, I'm just a fill-in nurse that was always there, and now I'm going to be.
So you were, yeah, correct. You were a overnight nurse that was unnamed and undescribed that was always there on the midnight shift,
Yeah.
the C shift. So what we just did was take Mescal away from him and make you
I fired Mescal.
and then put you in Mescal's place, and Mescal went to the midnight
Okay.
shift.
There can only be one drunk,
That's
And it was
me.
so her name is Taana, and she is a Vulcan. So I'm gonna know what it's like to play Vulcan, Andrew. And she just graduated from the academy recently, so she's very a noob.
Right. So the second thing we'll do is in 12 hours after the mending episode ended, the Drake received a message from Admiral Foxwell. So my question to acting Captain Jahan is take do you take that message?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. Perfect.
Good call.
Then no more housekeeping, and we can open the windows and doors to trouble with Tamm.
Acting Captain Starlog, July 18th, 2174. We have received a distress signal. The strange thing is that a Federation ship specifically was requested. Because of the fact there are so few Federation ships in the area, we're going to see if we can be any help. The signal was sent out by the Lumin. According to our records, it is a retrofitted galactic survey cruiser. It's a Starfleet-funded science vessel orbiting planet Tamm. Currently, the Drake is working outside of Federation command. Because of this, we will need to proceed with caution.
It will take about 3 days or so to get to the Lumen from your current location. You can decide to immediately start going. You can get things ready. It's up to you guys what you want to do.
All right.
That is the Lumen.
Do we know anything about its construction or its parts?
It has 3 decks. There's a small science lab and a large science lab, as well as engineering and medical bay on the first deck. Bridge and crew quarters, mess hall, second deck. Shuttle bay with 1 shuttle. 2 cargo bays. The transporter pads has 3 pads, and it has another small science lab on the third deck.
And there was something coming out the back of the ship. What was
Yes. That is a communication array.
that? Okay.
But for the size of the ship, if someone looks at that, it doesn't seem quite right where it seems oversized for the size of the ship.
Ooh. I mean, look at the size of that thing on the back.
Do we know who these people are? Like species?
They are primarily humans,
Okay.
Vulcans, and a couple Bolians.
Okay.
It is a Federation-funded ship.
Oh.
So it's not. So is it one of those? The Federation sends them out, but
Yes, the Federation is the one who retrofitted their ship
Mhm.
and sent them to go do something.
Okay.
Interesting, but they're not Starfleet officers.
No, they are not Starfleet. The thing that everybody can see on the file is unofficially they are a USS ship. They have a USS designation saying that they are in the Federation, but officially they are not in the Federation. When you do a search in your computer on the ship, this is everything that comes up. You have next to nothing on the Lumin. You do have a crew log. There are 23 crew members on the Lumin. The captain is John Avon. First
Good name.
officer, Curtis Williams. That's everybody. So if you want to know anybody, we do have that information here.
Do they have shields?
Nope.
No shield.
So it's
It
for
is, it is a lower quality and technology ship than the Drake.
Yeah, they can only go warp 4.
Yeah.
Noobs. Yeah.
And Warp 4 is difficult for them. They prefer Warp 3.
But to shake it for them.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I've got a few of those cars.
Is there any information that you want to know about the planet Tamm?
I assume it's M class.
It is M class.
We can breathe on it, yeah.
Yes. It was initially thought to be L class. The difference between L class and M class is M class has animals living on it. L class does not.
Cool.
Has sparse vegetation. It orbits a blue star. Initially, there was no life detected when the people were first checking it out. Sparse plant life. The plants detected moss, small plants, small bushes, and small trees. Once on the planet, small insects and rodent-like animals were discovered. No other information can be found.
I'm telling you, there's something fishy about the paperwork.
The average person will look at this and go, that's barely like 3 sentences.
Yeah, there's no information about the people on the planet.
There are no people on the planet.
No people on the planet.
There are only animals on the planet.
Yeah, I would just assume it hasn't been studied much or something.
That is a possibility.
Well, because my issue is there's not a lot of information and they're sending a ship that's sketchy to it. So,
Yeah, like why? What are we planning on
Mhm.
doing here?
Well, I mean, we can't assume that we're the only vessel out here searching for new planets, new life.
Yeah.
True, true.
It is a Federation funded ship, so it is possible that the Federation or someone else who could be funding them to get something.
True.
Okay, we will proceed one day. On the second day, is anybody gonna be doing anything, preparing, looking anything up?
I mean, there's really not much we can look up. Because I would want to look up more information on like the system and stuff, but there's nothing.
Yes. You know it's a blue star. You can find it on star charts, but you know about where it is, but there's relatively no information on it.
So I'll read the star charts and stuff just so I'm not going in completely blind, but it doesn't sound like there's a ton of information I can get out of it.
Okay. Do you want to proceed through day 2? Andy, I want you to roll 2 dice.
Okay.
You're looking at the star charts.
Looking at those star charts. What am
The
I?
difficulty of 1, science insight.
Science inside. 15. I got 4 and a 6.
Nice. So you gain 1 momentum, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see that there are a lot of asteroids near the planet as well.
Ooh.
And when you look up that area on the computer, there was something there, but then it wasn't there. You saw a file because you were looking at the asteroids and things in that area,
Mm-hmm.
and you saw there was a file there, but then all of a sudden it wasn't.
Okay. I would like to try to figure out what's going on with that file.
So you want to do a search into the computer?
Well, is it an engineering thing? Because if it is, I would like to call upon an engineer.
It would be an engineering thing.
All right.
I'm busy.
So
We got a guy
Jahan,
for
do you wanna look for this file? No, he's
Oh
the
no,
captain.
I'm the captain. I got a guy for that.
You won't.
I need somebody good with engineering to do this.
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay. Come on, Clark. We got to get you out of the engineering bay every once
Every once in a while. I come
And we're
out.
keeping him in there. He's just doing the work from there.
I come up on
remotely.
the bridge, my skin's like all white. Like I haven't outside. Ah, these lights are so bright.
Engineering, let's do control. Difficulty 2.
Only 2. You did it.
7 and a 5.
Very nice.
2.
Nice. So while you were looking at Tamm, the file MMAT pops up. Tamm backwards.
Oh, Tamm backwards.
Mm.
And that's the one that popped up but disappeared. When you open the file, it's complete gibberish.
Oh.
Can you
You see, Eric? Is it like pure gibberish?
Very blurry.
Absolute
if
nonsense.
everyone wants to just pass around the phone, and I'm gonna work on getting it loaded into
Just read it, Adrian.
Well,
Alright.
it's not English.
No. Well,
like that, it's gibberish.
Signed, Lima. It is formatted like a normal letter would be. The top line has like to whom this may concern,
Mm.
and then it's addressed to somebody, Washula Ott, and then there's 3 paragraphs of text, and then signed Lima.
Oh man,
Easy. Washula ha Balashabajip Zijibajajil Desachmil but who Hibuk Hajaluji. Easy, right? You got it?
Okay.
Yeah.
hmm
Got it. All right.
I will take a chance to be who I'm meant to be. I won't let fear keep me from trying. It's time for me to make a change, to start living the life I want. I'm gonna reach for the sky, way up high. I'm never giving up. It's up to me to see who I can be, make dreams reality. I'm never giving up. 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 I'm never giving up.
Is this something we can roll to decrypt or translate? for?
yes, but without knowing what cipher or key to use, it's a higher difficulty.
Makes sense.
Can't the computer system search all known language and decrypting?
There's a possibility.
Or is that not on our timeline yet?
I was looking for like Hebrew backwards, and
No.
it's like each you read it down,
It's all
you read it
jumbled.
right, like but yeah.
So are we going to use the computer or are we going to try and do it ourselves?
Yeah, what can I do on the computer? Like,
Well, if you want to try inputting this into the computer, you can try,
okay.
where you would run con reason and be assisted by the computer, although basically having the computer do it.
So I would need a 10.
I have a 12.
Okay.
The thing is because you don't know what cipher it is a difficulty 3.
Excellent.
We have 1 momentum, so we could buy dice.
This is a computer thing. I'm not great with computer things.
All right, I can do it. I will spend a momentum. Someone shall assist me.
Yes, I would love to do this, yeah.
And then I'll roll for the computer. Computer did nothing.
Just 1 success.
I rolled an 8, so I got 1.
2 successes,
Mm-hmm.
not 3.
No.
It spits out
Oh my god.
translation error.
Like, how often are we able to try deciphering this using the same method?
If you want to try again, it will. The problem is it will still be a level 3 because you still don't know what you need to use to decipher it.
Very good.
If you guys want to work at it, basically do an extended time where by the time you get there, you might be able to figure it out if you keep working on it. I could lower the difficulty to 2, just because you've been working on it for so long, you've done trial and error, and you know what hasn't worked, so something might come up that does work.
All right. I like that.
Yeah, we can do it. We'll do an extended task. Make John do it. Wow.
If you can get a difficulty 2 within 3 tries, it's basically you doing trial and error, seeing what won't work, what does work and what doesn't work.
All right. Am I still assisted?
You can be assisted by the computer, or you can try doing it yourself. If you try doing it yourself, I will say 6 hours difficulty 1, where you will chew up, basically the rest of the day, but it will drop the difficulty down to 1.
All right. We'll go that route.
So you have 3 tries to get a difficulty 1, but we're using up 6 hours, which is basically the rest of the day.
All right. Here we go. Try one. 1 success. I've done it.
Nice. The first line reads, "The quick brown fox jumped over the sleepy dog."
Oh,
There you go.
All right. We're turning around.
And that is what the first line does say.
Interesting.
is that?
Well, then that's all we need to cipher the rest of it.
But that's the code, right?
But the rest of it is still gibberish.
Yeah.
You found a +3, changing it to like A to D. The first line came together, but nothing else came together. When you did it, you got the first line, which was a cipher 3. The problem is all that trial and error still didn't get you the rest of the message.
You're saying the rest of the message is a different cipher.
Yes.
There you go.
So you're on to the 3rd day. It is difficulty 1 if you want to chew up another 6 hours to see if you can figure out the rest of the message.
Yeah, I think I should do
All
that.
right.
Does anybody have anything else they want to do on the 3rd day, or is it just basically sit around, wait until you get there?
I am gonna task Clark and Sova. I'm gonna task them each a line from that, and I'll take one as well. So 6 hours, each of us can do 1 line. That's right. Wouldn't that work out math-wise?
Yeah, you can have multiple people try.
Am I rolling 1 dice or 2?
But if you're doing a line by yourself, you would be doing it on your own, no computer, just trial and error.
Okay, so it's reason con, you said?
Reason con.
I need a 12. I got 1 success.
So with it being 3 days from acting captain's log, the Drake has officially been in space for 1 year.
Bum, bum, bum.
All right. So while he did that, are we also able to roll for the same time frame?
Yes.
All right.
How many successes did you get?
Well, because the 3 of you are working at it, if you all can do it, I will cut down the amount of time, and then we'll basically be getting there.
All right, John. We both got 1, so it's up to you to get the last one.
Ooh, we got a delta, baby.
Oh, very nice. Ooh. So we get the bank 1.
Very nice. The rest of the message was a +7 cipher.
Ooh.
So the +3 was thrown in to try and throw everybody off, so they didn't learn about planet Tamm.
Okay, so what did it say?
A metallic substance was found in abundance on the planet. Similar substances have been found in parts of asteroids nearby.
Ooh.
Processing the substance is very difficult and will take time to figure out better processes. Due to the difficulty and resilience of the material, it will likely be good building materials for future ships.
Love it.
Initial tests showed that after forging, the material is resistant to energy-based weapons. Going forward, other weapons will need to be acquired for testing. And the thing is, this was in your ship's database.
Oh,
So I think some bigwig is hiding something.
So we're approaching Tamm. Tamm has about a 20-hour day. You see the Lumin orbiting the planet.
Mhm.
What do you do now?
Well, I'd want to go over the findings of this mysterious information with my crew before we do anything.
Okay.
Okay.
It would seem, Lieutenant Commander Sova, that this information doesn't want to be easily found, which makes whatever's going on here valuable and potentially dangerous.
Agreed, Commander. It is unfortunate we don't even know who is hiding this information.
Hmm. Seems it could be Starfleet related, but perhaps that too is misleading.
Sure.
I wonder if that's why they have such a big thing on the back of a ship to talk long range
Oh. That is a good point. Maybe they talk to somebody in Starfleet directly.
about their findings.
Yes.
That may prove difficult with our current situation. Okay, well, we'll try to hail the vessel, get a hold of somebody and go from there.
Yeah, they were asking for help.
Yes.
Yes. So you hail the Lumin. The Lumin initially scans you.
Can we roll for to try to get some momentum?
Sure.
Because it's a difficulty 0, right?
Yes, it would be difficulty 0.
You want to do that, John?
The captain probably shouldn't. He should probably have somebody take care of that.
Yep.
Now you're good.
Wow. He
Well, I
really,
roll for Rabasa here, who's his replacement of the comms.
really going.
So it's control engineering.
Control engineering. Here we go.
You got to get 2 successes, so that way we can get 2 momentum.
I'll try. Not a single success.
Hmm. We're gonna go over that during your review.
When you contact them, they don't respond. They respond by scanning the ship.
Ooh.
Captain, they're scanning us.
Hmm.
Then they respond.
Ah.
Oh, wow.
You hear, "I am Captain John Ivan. Who are you?"
I am acting captain of the Drake, Commander Chujahan.
He turns his head and speaks, and you don't hear anything that he's saying. He nods, turns back. "You are Federation ship, correct?"
We are. Are you?
"Yes, we are a Federation-funded ship. Would you
in-
like to dock or bring shuttle over? Because I would
Ah.
like to speak with you
Hmm.
in person."
I see. Are you able to tell us the nature of your problems now?
Yes, everyone had a sickness that caused everyone to feel pain. We have it under control. We have a doctor here who did help us. The problem is we really need help. But we are only allowed to have Federation people on the ship. No one else. And my crew is not able to do anything at the moment because we are all recovering.
I see. Under whose authority is it Federation only?
Wow.
Admiral Moran.
Admiral Moran.
Do we
Do
know
we know this
Admiral Moran?
Admiral Moran?
No.
You've never met Admiral Moran before. Which admiral are you under?
Uh-oh.
So for your benefit, John, you can say Rothy. He is the admiral who sent the Drake out originally. In case you don't want to
Yeah,
say
I probably wouldn't.
Foxwell.
I wouldn't want to invoke Foxwell.
We do.
Okay. Admiral Rothy.
I have heard of Admiral Rothy, but never had the pleasure of meeting.
Well, since we're not sure of the nature of the sickness on your ship, perhaps just a one-on-one meeting would be fine. I'll set up quarantine here for you to enter, and we can speak once you've boarded and quarantined. Is that acceptable?
That is acceptable. I will be coming over with another crew member, just so you know.
Okay, they will be quarantined as well.
I understand.
Very good. We'll make preparations now. Dr. House, perhaps could you make accommodations for our guests?
Yes, I could do that. What is going on? I have been in medbay. I have no idea what's going on.
I thought we were all present for the.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm just drunk.
Oh,
I will
As
get
is
the quarantine rooms ready.
thank
And he,
you, Doctor.
stumbles out of the door.
His heart's always in medbay.
So they send a shuttle over.
I got all the jellies ready.
It's the captain and a security officer. Do you want the shuttle to go to the shuttle bay, or do you want the shuttle to dock at an airlock?
I'm thinking shuttle bay because then they can go into quarantine, right? Because you can't go into quarantine if you go to a airlock.
Yeah, I think shuttle bay is closer to quarantine zone.
Right.
Okay, so shuttle comes, parks, and they step out.
Mhm.
They are very shaky.
Ooh.
Shaky.
They have their arms out. They're not touching anything, and they're very carefully walking. And they are wearing full environmental suits.
Okay.
So where are we putting them?
In quarantine.
They walk to.
Straight in there.
Yeah. Because the shuttle bay is connected to quarantine, so just
Is anybody going to touch them,
No.
or
Nope.
are they just going to say go this way and walk?
yes.
Yeah, we having security kind of usher them to.
Yeah. This is quarantine protocols.
Yeah.
Mhm. So they're in quarantine. They sit down very carefully. They have their arms out, straight out, holding them, shaking.
So House is there. He says, "You can relax."
No, we cannot relax. We are in pain. Anything that touches us causes pain.
Are we able to
Yes.
scan them while they're in quarantine?
Yeah. Can I administer a hypo spray through the door so they can do it?
He holds up he reaches into his belt because he has a couple little pouches on his belt.
Yeah.
He pulls out a scanner from his ship and a hypo spray. And says, all the information is on here. This is the medication that we have to deal with it.
So are they getting better?
They are getting better, but they were in such sheer pain. And most of them don't even know why they were in pain. They just know the shot over time takes the pain away to a point. He said the problem is we keep coming in contact with whatever is causing it.
How long has this been?
It has been 2 weeks
Of getting better and then
of sheer pain.
just sheer. Ooh.
And the doctor from our supply ship scanned us, found the problem, and created this. in order to help us.
Did he say what the problem was?
He said neurotoxin.
Neurotoxin.
Who is your supplier?
The
That doesn't
supply
sound like a
ship,
nurse question.
Dr. Hall is on the ship. You can get better information from him. The Admiral was able to get this ship to regularly bring us supplies.
All right.
The problem is the supply and the sickness do not line up. And we could not figure out why we keep getting sick.
How long have you been stationed here at this planet?
A couple of months.
So the sickness started a month or so after you got here.
It actually started slowly.
What were your first symptoms?
Tingling in the fingertips.
Neuropathy, perhaps, doctor.
Perhaps. Yeah. I would like to take his scanner and his medicine, and I would like to put them in our computer and get any information off of there that I can.
So are you going in and taking it, or?
Well, there's like a little window thing that you can.
He sets it in and.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little late for this, but I'm gonna retroactively not say acting captain when I've addressed this captain. I'm just captain.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's right.
So I'll say, Captain, I do have a suggestion after listening to what's going on here.
Yes, Ambassador.
Is it possible that whatever is on the planet that could be making them sick, I don't know if we have the technology to send a probe to get a sample to see if that is what could be our problem here with the sickness.
With it shrouded in such secrecy, perhaps it is dangerous, just in ways we weren't expecting. That's probably a good idea. Would we be able to scan for these neurotoxins specifically?
I think once House puts it into his computer database, once he's interacted with it and scanned it and it's in the computer database, then
It could match.
the Drake could look for what he's found on the material that he's scanned.
Yeah, if toxicity is present, it would match with what.
I don't think it's anything on the planet.
You think it's on the ship?
No, I think it's on the meteor.
Oh.
You can scan for it, but keep in mind, depending on how concentrated it is, the ship may not be able to detect it.
Especially because we don't know what we're looking for.
Yeah.
No.
If we had a sample, then we could find all of it,
Yeah.
Well, let's let the doctor do his thing. See what the captain has given us information-wise. They may already have the information.
Yeah, but they can hide it.
Yes. In the hand scanner, there are scanned samples of people, and it specifically has the breakdown of the neurotoxin. In the scanner, you can see exactly what the neurotoxin is.
What information do I gain from that, the medication that they use?
It is basically a retrovirus, where they took a virus, they fed the neurotoxin to it, and purposely had the virus create RNA that completely counteracts the toxin. So giving the shot does, over time, purge the neurotoxin out of the body, but the side effects of the neurotoxin are still there. And if they keep being reinfected by the neurotoxin, the symptoms keep coming back. What you can tell is it would take a lot of this neurotoxin to do any serious harm.
Okay. So it's not like crazy.
It's not crazy. It's just causing the nerves to fire. So they're feeling pain. They're not in pain, but they're feeling pain.
So the nerves are triggering, pain.
Yes.
Okay.
That's very.
Now, On the Drake, do I have access to could I make a antitoxin remedy better than the
Not without a sample. Because
I mean-
you just have what the medicine,
yeah.
you don't have the cause to work off of.
So basically, like the DNA from the toxins, I can't just use what's on the scanner to do that. So I need an actual sample of
You would
the
need a
toxin.
sample of the toxin, because the problem is it just tells you that it used a virus to create RNA that counteracts the toxin, and you have basically what the RNA is, huge file, but it doesn't tell you how to make it better.
Gotcha.
From what you can tell, the shot is taking the neurotoxin away. The problem is somehow they keep being reinfected,
Probably
and
because
that's the real issue.
the fact that it's mixed with a virus that's kind of what is telling me that. But do you have anything to add, nurse?
Thank you, doctor. I would suggest taking routine blood work of all the patients.
I don't hate that idea, but when was the last time they had a dose of their anti-pain stuff?
They've been getting it very regularly, 3 times a day.
Because they seem like they're in pretty.
The problem is certain people are affected more so they have to get more shots because they don't know how they're being infected.
So getting blood sample from them, would it be like excruciating?
It would hurt. You know the feeling of someone fishing with a needle where they put it in and then they move it? Just touching it, that's how it feels. It's manageable, but it hurts. But at the same time, they've had the shot in order to take the toxin out of their body. So
the blood samples could be not
right.
Yeah, could be mixed with stuff.
You might be able to find it. You might not be able to. You don't know because they've been getting regular shots in order to take the toxin out of their body.
Yeah, I need a patient that has no painkillers in them.
So how do we feel right now?
You feel fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
They are in quarantine. They were wearing the biosuit.
Right.
Their biosuits were decontaminated when they came on.
But we're near the planet now. We're near everything. We're in their
Yep,
environment now,
right.
but we're okay still.
Perfectly fine.
It took them like a month and a half before they started really noticing.
And the other question is, would Dr. House like to talk to Dr. Hall and see if he has any information?
I would like to talk to him.
I think that the lieutenant commander and myself should talk to him.
Are you going to go over there or are you going to talk to him through the intercom?
Oh, we'll go to quarantine.
Are you wearing biosuit or not?
Oh yeah. Full biosuits. We're not playing
Quarantine protocols.
Nurse to doctor, I'm wondering if, because of the letter that we found on their database about this mysterious metal on this planet, if that's
Metals on the meteors.
on the, oh, I thought it was on Tamm, on the planet Tamm.
I thought it was in the meteor.
It was on the planet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that we were thinking the same thing, just, okay, very good.
I thought they were mining
They are mining the meteors, but the meteors are on the planet.
The mineral that they're after is found in the asteroids. It is also found on the planet.
Okay, it's everywhere.
And they are taking samples and trying it.
But that,
Yeah,
I mean,
'cause
that
I'm-
should be our
Hmm.
first,
I mean, I'm leaning towards like a metal toxin.
yeah.
Yeah, that may be a question that might be brought up when the captain speaks to the other captain.
The captain and security are wondering, do you want them to stay on the ship or are they able to go back to their ship?
Just wanted to speak with you to get some more information, Captain.
I can only give you so much information. Dr. Hall knows much more about this. He's the one who came up with the cure, and he's the one who studied it. So if you want better information, you must talk to him.
I see. So as the captain of your vessel, you're not informed of the information that he found out?
He only informs me of so much. He is very difficult to work with.
I see.
I like this guy.
After all,
And he came up with the cure which allows my crew to work again. That is what is important to me.
All right, then perhaps we should swap quarantines and send him over. I'd like to know more about the information he has.
The captain and the security get onto the shuttle. They go over to the ship, and a message is being sent to you. It is an audio message that was sent to you.
No.
That's all it said.
I see. So apparently they don't want our help and we can leave.
Yeah.
The problem is that was from Dr. Hall, who's not part of that ship. The captain is in front of the main viewer trying to contact you again.
Okay.
So
Then open comms.
Dr. Hall says he is not going to your ship. He said he is under orders to stay in the science lab and not allowed out.
Orders
So he
from
says
whom?
if you want to speak to him, you must come over. He is not part of my crew, so I am not able to order him. And considering he's friends with Admiral Moran, I would prefer not to be on his bedside.
Is this a supply ship hired through Starfleet or a separate entity?
It was hired directly through Admiral Moran.
Well, they don't take
Moran
orders
is the
from
one who set
Starfleet.
it all up. That was the message I got from the Admiral.
I see. Are you able to set us up with some sort of safeguards if a couple of my crew comes over?
Yes. We
All
can
right.
set up quarantine areas and we can decon as much as possible.
Well,
But
I
we
guess
can only
if,
do so much due to the fact we have limited crew who is able to work.
will a quarantine area on your ship get Dr. Hall to come out of the science lab there, or will we have to go see him directly?
You can speak to him either in person, because he will not leave the science lab, or you are able to speak to him through the intercom.
I see. Is it your science lab, Captain?
It is our small science lab.
I see. So on your ship, it is your science lab.
Yes.
So perhaps while he's on your ship, you could command him to go to a quarantine area to
Not
meet with
while
us.
he has the Admiral's ear.
Hmm.
Because the Admiral is the one who has given me this ship in the good order that it is in. And I would prefer not to have it taken away from me.
Fair enough, Captain. Right, I will gather up my crew and two of us will come over.
And just so you know, the doctor is not exhibiting any symptoms.
Okay, good to know. Thank you, Captain. I'll prepare to come over to your vessel.
Understood.
How long has their doctor been there? That Mr. No guy?
Only a few days.
Oh, okay, yeah. So he's like us, basically. Yeah.
Dr. Hall, on the last shipment, he stayed in order to help, and his ship left
Okay,
to go get more stuff.
gotcha. Okay.
Senior staff meeting. I do this thing where the lights flash on and off, and then everybody knows it's a senior staff meeting.
Yeah.
So I give everybody the rundown of what's happened. Who do we think we should send over? I told them two of us would go.
I mean, a good suggestion would be Dr. House, because he could get firsthand the information what's going on.
True.
And Jahan,
Okay.
are you going over?
Perhaps it's best that I go with you, Doctor.
What are you wearing and taking over with you?
Wearing whatever quarantine protocol dictates we need.
Normally I wouldn't go, but seeing how this guy is basically just house of their ship, I think it's only fitting that I go and out house.
Hmm.
I go and evict him.
There you go.
House versus Hall.
Every house.
You ready to rumble?
A hall.
I say my trademark phrase, have it be.
That would be.
Wow.
Don't
That's
do that.
really,
No.
that's really something.
There's no infringement there, it's fine.
Make it be. Have it be. Wow. That is so bad. I love it.
Thank you. That's why I'm acting captain.
What's going on here?
Captain.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the only
Well-
person who else was acting.
Yeah, no, we just call it captain. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, then we
So
get over there in our.
The two of
in
you
our
go
full-
over. You are met by the captain, and you see crew running around trying to clean up and get quarantine set up as best as they can. You see everybody shaking and tired, some worse than others, but they are at least functioning. The captain greets you. Where would you like to start?
Wherever the doctor is.
Come this way up to the first deck. So you walk down to the turbo lift, it takes you up, and you see the large science lab. People are standing in the doorway, blocking the view into the doorway. You walk past that to a small closed door. Captain motions, he is in here. He opens the door for you. You walk in and you see this.
Oh.
House.
Hmm.
And he is asleep. It is very obvious that he's sleeping.
Is there
I-
is something within reach, like on a shelf?
It is a very small, dark science lab. The only light you see, there's a microscope in front of him. There's a small light kind of over his shoulder on some paperwork over here. And there's a small, like, food ration kind of off to the side on the desk. That's literally all that's there.
So I look over to Dr. House. I say, "Is this how you spend your time?"
I usually keep the lights on. How close is that food ration to where House is standing?
If you take one step, you can grab it,
Okay.
and it's right there.
I would like to push it off the desk.
Okay, you push it off the desk onto the floor. He's still asleep.
This guy's good. This guy's good.
I say, "Dr. Hall, I presume?"
He wakes up, looks at you, barely acknowledges you, and puts his eye to the microscope.
Hmm.
He's now doing this. He's ignoring you.
Yeah. And this is why we had to risk our lives coming over here. We're here to talk, Dr. Hall, about your predicament. Perhaps you have some extra knowledge that you could
By a bunch of
bless
clowns.
us with.
This isn't a circus, yet I'm surrounded by a bunch of clowns.
I see.
He
So,
looks up at you, waiting for you to say something.
Dr. Hall, as far as I can tell from the information that I have available to me, it's that you arrived to give all of these people an antidote, a vaccine of your creation. I'm assuming you're charging these people for this as a supply ship. So I can only assume that you're trying to extort the Federation, which I can't imagine would bode well if it got back to the Admiral. Am I correct, Dr.
No.
Hall?
No.
According to my findings, I am, unless you have other information for me.
Can I look in the microscope, like push him out of the way and look in the microscope?
If you ask him, can I see in the microscope?
I would like to look in the microscope.
He quickly turns it around. Hurry up so I can look back in it.
What do I see in the microscope?
You see small samples of rocks.
Oh my god. Okay.
I told them what to scan for and left it up to them. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have samples to study.
And he turns the microscope back around and is back to looking in it.
I see. So if you're leaving it to them, then why exactly do they need you here?
No.
The Federation. I'm not part of Starfleet.
And yet you're on a Starfleet vessel.
Is technically a Starfleet vessel. The captain says the problem is he is not allowed out of the science lab. He has been put here because he is not Federation. Only Federation are allowed to go around the ship.
Thermos.
Then how was he allowed on the ship if he is not Federation?
He must be like a civil.
He was put under orders from the Admiral to help because no crew members could do anything.
Like physically or because of the pain?
They were in pain and couldn't do anything. So he came on, figured out what the problem was, and they're now back to semi-working.
So he's just stuck on the ship.
Yes, until his ship gets here, picks him up.
I know that feeling.
My captain was asked to help bring supplies for this ship for the foreseeable future.
So right now, they are the supply ship to this ship.
All right, so from everything that I'm seeing, this man is useless.
Are you going to ask the captain about the arrangement between the supply ship?
I suppose. Is he here with us?
Yeah, he's standing right there with you. He's been hearing this whole conversation because he brought you here and has been listening.
I see. Okay. So, Captain Avon, what is the deal with him? Why is this supply ship? What's going on with that?
The supply ship was set up by Admiral Moran. Admiral Moran pays the supply ship to bring us the supplies. We have nothing to do with the supply ship besides taking supplies from them.
And apparently their doctor.
We didn't want him, but we didn't have any other option. We are under orders not to have anyone but Federation on this ship.
What I wanted to ask, I wanted to have a conversation with the captain before this had to happen. What exactly is your mission here, Captain?
Our mission is to study the planet, gather resources, document animals. We have only found 2 animals so far, several plants, and not much else.
Do you have any samples from the planet on board the ship? I was going to ask that.
All samples from the planet are in the large science lab, but we are under orders to not let anyone into the science lab, period.
So I wouldn't be permitted to have a sample to study on the Drake?
No, not from us.
Okay.
We are not allowed to give you any samples, but Federation are allowed around the ship and allowed on the planet if you choose. I would just give it a couple hours because it's rather cold down there right now.
So you're not Federation.
No, we are Federation funded. And to keep our funding, primarily our ship, because most of what you see was installed by Federation.
Well, it just so happens that we're Federation.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it would seem those samples are Federation property, yes?
But you do not have Admiral Moran's permission. We are under orders from Admiral Moran to not let anyone into the science lab to see the samples we are working on.
I wish we weren't wanted by our admiral at this
Yeah,
moment.
no
That would have been.
All right, guys. My bad.
Right. That's like contacting admirals isn't an option.
Yeah, I don't want to swing that little admiral card around.
While that is going on, you hear this. You hear a little bell from behind Dr. Hall.
Kitty.
Then you see an arm come out from behind Dr. Hall's seat and set a food ration on the desk. And go back. You see Dr. Hall just sit there looking up at the ceiling. He reaches over, grabs his food ration, picks it up, unwraps it, and starts eating it.
All right. Is there a light switch in here that's visible?
Everything Everything was disabled by Dr. Hall currently, so it stays dark.
Because he's some sort of freak.
So can you describe
Okay.
like what kind of arm we saw? Is it like a normal human arm? Is it like
It's a humanoid arm. And then you hear,
Ignore him. You are dealing with me.
I'm not dealing
Except we're
with
not
you.
dealing with him at all.
I'm not dealing with him at all.
then you hear a voice. Pleasant Woods Ford.
Oh.
That's the voice
Okay.
that came from behind Dr. Hall. And then you hear papers rustling at the light.
Captain Avon, can I speak with you privately, please?
Yes, that is permitted. Do you just want to go down the hall?
Yeah, anywhere. Just taking him aside to speak with him.
I just want it known that as I walk out the door, I knock that food tray on the floor too.
Nice.
He was holding it and eating it,
So
so
had like the tray, I just knocked the tray.
knocked the tray over. Dr. Hall doesn't even flinch. He doesn't care. He begrudgingly was eating.
All right, Captain Avon. I am aware of what you are extracting from the planet.
Okay.
It took
Holy
a little bit of engineering expertise to obtain because these files were readily available but not readily readable. So it would seem that the operations here are trying to be under the radar.
So you know about the unknown.
It seems that I do.
Absolutely. We know.
I find that name very detestable, but no one can come up with an official name because there's too much fighting, so they called it unknown currently.
So why all the secrecy?
So what do you need to know?
I want to know why this is off the books.
It is not off the books. It is all under Admiral Moran.
I
You
see.
just you need the clearance to know the information. And obviously you know some of the information, so you have some clearance.
Obviously he's the bad guy, but like, what does he gain? There's no money,
Oh, there's a lot of money in selling to
but there's no money.
Mercenary.
But we use no money.
the
So
right,
have
other
you
colony planets do.
have
Sell it
you
to-
had contact with any other Starfleet command other than Admiral Moran?
Yes, I have been in contact with a few admirals, but primary Admiral Moran.
Do you happen to know the other names of the admirals?
I have forgotten them, but they are in my files. I can look them up if you want.
Yes, after our conversation, if
I
that information would be
believe-
relevant.
The captain of the supply ship calls her Foxy. I had one conversation with her. I don't remember her name, though. The captain just calls her Foxy, and that's what stuck.
I like that.
Okay.
Good.
If any other admirals that you were in contact with would be helpful.
I will have to look that up.
So, Captain, do you believe that this unknown is the cause of your problems?
No. All scans of the unknown material did not show anything.
Well,
I am
primarily,
unsure where we keep coming in contact with the neurotoxin.
okay, do
We
you
have
suspect?
tried changing food, changing our diet, many different things. Somehow we kept coming in contact with the neurotoxin.
Yeah.
We put on primarily biosuits somehow, and that has helped, but only so much.
I see. Do you suspect that it's the planet, something on the planet that could be causing it?
It is very possible.
Okay, and when did the supply ship first arrive?
It was here from day one.
So as a supply ship, they leave and then come back with supplies, or you just house everything like it's on a...
They regularly bring us supplies. Plus, on the planet, we are building a science lab, and they must bring more supplies so we can build it. But we are very behind right now because no one can work.
So I'd like to whisper to John and just tell him like I'd like to go to the planet.
Okay. Perhaps you could bring a colleague with you.
I'm gonna roll and see if he hears you.
He
Unless
already
you do it far enough away where I can't hear.
fine.
He rolled pretty good.
Ooh, you can go with her.
He heard you say something about the planet, but he didn't hear exactly what you heard. Because I gave myself a difficulty of 2, and I got 1. Because
So-
you are a federation, you have permission to go to the planet if you choose to. Just so you know, we have a few small vehicles on the planet.
Oh yeah.
Oh, ground vehicles, you say?
We have been using them to take supplies to the science lab.
One
The
of its many
problem is they
uses.
keep breaking down and we have to constantly replace the wires.
Something with the atmosphere there?
No, it does not seem to be atmosphere. So if you want to see the planet, you have permission. We are just not able to help because we are trying to get better in order to start working.
Of course.
Most of my crew are in their quarters currently. Several of them, I believe, are on the second in the mess hall.
Do you know what Dr. Hall is actually working on?
No. He brought his own case with samples and has been looking at them the entire time.
I see.
He has not left that room.
Okay, well, the one thing he did say was that he told you what to scan. What was it exactly?
He found the neurotoxin in the scans, came up with the cure, and handed us the scanner saying, scan for this. The problem is we were in no condition at the time, and we have had so much going on, we have not been able to properly scan for whatever it is he put in there.
Okay, I understand. Then it seems imperative to send the doctor down to get samples to see exactly what we're dealing with and what you're dealing with.
Agreed.
I have one last question. Who brought Hall food while we were in there?
A security officer was brought on with Hall because he apparently does not take care of himself and needs constant reminders. Someone said something about Misha would be angry if he did not take care of himself. Apparently, that is his assistant.
All right. Well, I'll walk back towards the shuttle pod.
Okay.
I'm good.
Thank you, Captain Avon, and I'm sorry for all the, and I look toward the science lab, pain that you've had to deal with.
Appreciated.
Yeah, hopefully somebody else stops by to help.
The problem is we are not allowed to have anyone help us. We took what we could get.
I would turn the distress signal off.
So I'd say we go back to our own ship now.
Okay.
Your staff meeting.
Yep, lights flash on and off again. So, Dr. House, I think it would be best, as you said, to go and collect a sample.
I would love to go and collect the sample. I would like to beam directly to the planet's surface with a sample container.
I think that's absolutely doable and not difficult at all. And I think you should take someone of your choosing with you.
Keep in mind it's a difficulty 3 to beam down because there are no pads down there to beam to.
We have the best engineers.
That's true.
You can also take a shuttle if you choose to, which would be a difficulty of 1.
Perhaps with the equipment you need, we should maybe take a shuttle pod.
Is someone going to scan where you want to land?
And I'll walk over to the console and I'll start scanning with the science insight.
Yeah, science insight.
Difficulty
Difficulty 1.
1. Oh, I crushed it. I got 3.
Very nice. Do you want to bank everything or do you want to gain more information?
I'll bank 1
So you want extra information.
because I have the talent that lets me get 2 questions for the cost of 1.
Okay.
So I definitely have 3 questions.
That's why he scans.
So the initial scan, you scan the planet, figuring the ship is going to be somewhere near where it lands.
Okay.
So you are close to the landing area, and you do see 3 ground vehicles near that spot.
First question is I want to know where the meteor sites are in comparison to the landing site.
There's a trail, well, there's a couple trails.
Mhm.
One that goes up to a shell of a science lab.
Mhm.
You see another trail going off to what looks like a quarry area,
Okay.
where it looks like someone has kind of took large chunks of stone.
So that's probably where the meteors are, or where they're getting their samples.
Yes, where they're getting their samples.
Okay. So I'd like to inform the crew of this and then ask, is there another thing that we would like to know? Because I got one more question.
Yes.
Is there security on the planet surface?
You want me to check to see?
If
Okay.
there's anybody, any people, any security,
All right.
anything.
So I would like to scan, is there a humanoid on the planet?
Right?
No,
There's,
you are not picking up any life forms at all.
okay.
I wasn't picking up any life forms in Dr. Hall's office.
Got him.
Got him. I would have said it to his face. I wasn't scared. Just so you know.
We'll need to bring some sort of a way to traverse the area.
Unless we use their ground vehicles down there.
So if you
Hmm.
take Zaren's shuttle, his takes 8, so you can cram. Remember, it can hold a ground vehicle,
Hmm.
but you're gonna sacrifice that space for probably like only 4 or 5 people can fit in.
Okay. And as it's the ambassador's ship, well, we should probably have him along.
You're using my ship?
Perhaps our ground party will be slightly larger to accommodate any emergencies we might have down there.
I was going to tell him that one other thing that his scan picked up, it is a tolerable temperature. It's 55 degrees on the planet currently.
Not bad.
So it's
Celsius
cool,
or Fahrenheit?
but it's tolerable right now. The sun has finally come up. It's warming everything.
Ambassador, are you handy with a phase pistol?
Oh, did you guys give back the scanner that you took from the captain, or do you still have it?
Well, we technically didn't give it back, so I guess we still have it in our possession.
Are you going to take that with you, or are you going to just use your own scanners?
Like a leading question.
Objection.
Waiting.
Substitute here. Yeah, I'll bring both. I'll bring mine and his.
To see differences perhaps in results. Good thinking, Doctor. Perhaps you should bring your nurse just to assist you with things on there.
Perhaps.
The ambassador will join you since it's his ship.
Ooh.
And I'm positive if he can command that ship, he can command a ground vehicle.
I think so.
Oh, isn't Milek present?
Present.
Milek, it's been ages. I didn't think you could talk.
No one talks to me.
Well, Milek, they need some extra security down there, so it's your job to protect the ambassador and our medical officers.
You got it, Captain.
All right, I think that's our crew. Unless the science officer wants to go down as well.
I think I could be of use to the away team.
Yeah, I think we should have a science officer.
All right, I think we can cram 5 people into the ambassador's ship. And just in case their ground vehicles aren't reliable, I'm going to send you with my personal transport as well.
Excellent.
It is tricked out. It has a better engine on it. Doesn't it have like a sidecar or something on it too?
I think so. Yeah.
It's got all
Yeah.
terrain vehicles.
You used it on the Starbase with Clark.
Yeah. I take the ambassador aside before everybody leaves.
Keep your mouth.
And I say just make sure to follow safety protocols on the ground vehicle, and I hand him like a leather hat with like the straps on the side and a pair of driving goggles.
Driving goggles. Wow.
Is there a pair of holes at the very top? Two holes.
Oh yeah, that's a good visual. Yep.
Yeah. So like tufts of his hair is like sticking out. Yeah. Okay.
I love it.
I just want a hard cut to him driving that with the.
Because the enemy.
How many people can be on your personal vehicle?
I feel like 3 is probably the max. Because if you have someone driving,
Like a four-wheeler with a
maybe
sidecar.
2 on the back, depending on how wide it is. Like 2 in a seat. And then there's that sidecar attachment. So maybe 4 total.
The ground vehicles that are there are two-person vehicles.
Okay.
So we would need.
They're side by sides. So are we heading down?
Okay, number 1,
Mhm.
have it be.
Have it be. You got it.
Are we wearing like thermal?
Control con
No.
difficulty 1 to get down to the landing zone.
For me?
Yep.
Oh.
You're the one piloting.
Okie dokie.
Can I, as the helmsman, can I assist him?
Yes.
We don't let Melek touch too much, so just one
You would
hand.
be,
Just the main starship, yeah.
you'd be con presence.
Ooh. 16 and 9. How's that 9? And the 9's good, right?
It's under control. So,
Yeah.
right.
Because it's control plus con.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Oh, okay.
So you got one.
I got a success.
So you have and you got one? Yep. Which, do you want to bank it or
I do make it.
bank it? Okay.
What are we? Are we almost out? We got 2 left.
We only got 2. We haven't been doing many tests.
Bank it.
You've been doing a lot of dialogue.
Yeah.
Getting annoyed with the people who are talking to you. So you go down to the planet, you land, no issues. Just off to the side, it's like 3 or 4 steps away from where you landed. You see the ground vehicles.
Who has the highest engineering in the group?
Melek has a 4 of engineering.
So Melek, why don't you pick the best looking ground vehicle and see?
We'll do engineering insight because you're going to be looking into them to see if they work.
Okay.
Go ahead, Melek.
Do you want me to purchase a momentum or too bad? Because
What's the?
It's going to be a difficulty 1,
No.
just to see if they work.
Yeah, go ahead and just roll.
I have a focus in starship recognition and survival. But either of those could be anything.
It's a bit of a long shot for starship recognition.
Fair enough.
Just because you're checking to see if they function, I will allow it.
So I have 2 successes.
Okay.
So we're banking 1.
None of them work.
But what I'm saying, which one is the best?
They are all about equal.
Okay.
All
All right, Melek, pick one and
You-
go ahead and work on it.
They all do the same thing where you try to start them and something is not engaging right.
I will check the wiring.
I just picture like 1. Is
You open it up and all the shielding off the wires gone. Wires are touching,
Ooh, that would cause a problem.
which is why it's not working right. Also to the right, you do see a small metal container.
I would like to I'll just pop open the.
Inside it, you see a whole bunch of spare wires.
Yep.
That are shielded, that are
working?
The wires are good.
They're good. Okay. So I would pick up some and I'd hand them to Mulek and say, "Here you are."
So are we led to believe that like something on this planet is eating through the
It's small rodents which do enjoy eating the wire.
Yeah, it's all the shielding from the wire. The
Yeah,
wire
like
itself
the
is still there,
yeah.
but all the shielding is gone
Yeah.
from the wire.
It's like plastic.
Yes. I say, are you going to try replacing the wires?
I'd like to, but I don't want to be electrocuted.
It is not on,
Thank you.
so it would be control engineering.
If only we had Jahan, who has a whole history of working on these types of vehicles.
Or Clark.
I have 2 successes.
How many did you need?
To just replace the wires, it would have difficulty of 1.
Okay, so we bank one.
Because you're just taking off the wires, putting on the wires.
All
Now you try starting it up.
right.
And it starts right up with no problem.
Very nice. All right, so I'm thinking to make it more because you said there was 2 trails. One going to the quarry.
One going to the quarry,
Yeah.
it looked like a longer
Yes.
trail
Mhm.
as opposed to the one just going up and around to where the science lab was
Okay.
being built. They were still in the process of getting a closer landing spot, but they hadn't gotten around to it. The ground is pretty flat, but it's very rocky, jagged edges.
Yeah.
You really need a good spot to land, which
Yeah.
is why they have that location.
So I'd pull Dr. House aside and I would say, do you feel more comfortable checking out rocks or do you feel more comfortable checking out the science lab?
I would prefer the science lab.
Okay, so who would you want to take with you?
My nurse.
Your nurse? All right. So you and the nurse, why don't you 2 take the ground vehicle that was just prepared and look at the science lab, and the other 3 of us will go and look at the quarry.
Everyone roll a 6-sided dice. Who's on the planet?
No.
This one.
Just one 6-sided dice.
I got 1 explosion.
I got a Delta 6. 3.
So I got blank.
From your vantage point, you don't see it.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's closer to him.
Okay.
You see 6 little black dots in the air near you. Yes, near you.
Okay.
They're not bothering you. You just, out of the corner of your eye, you see these black dots. You 2 see them as well. They're in your vision. From where he is, he's looking the other way. He does not see them.
You know what it is? I pointed and you go to the science and then everybody's
Sure.
Oh my God.
6 little black dots. They look like little pieces of dust, just kind of dancing in the air.
Articulates, perhaps, doctor.
Can I scan?
Yes, you can scan.
I'd like to scan.
Meanwhile,
Science, insight, difficulty 1.
Oh, science insight is 15 in difficulty. 8 and a Delta, so 3.
Very nice.
so 2.
You want to bank 2?
Yep.
Yeah.
So we have full.
Nice.
Nice.
So you do a scan, and the scan count comes back. They're insects.
They're insect?
Yes,
Hostile insects.
they're
Oh.
tiny flies.
Would I realize what's going on at this point?
Because he starts scanning, you turn around and look.
Tova bugs.
Could I try scanning?
You can scan if you want.
Okay.
Science insight.
Oh, yeah,
trying
oh,
to get
yeah.
more information
Oh.
on it.
I got 3 successes. And
Wow.
since we can't bank anymore, I'm gonna have to just dump it all into learning about these bugs.
I will allow 2 questions about the bugs.
All right.
Whoa.
So,
Look at their stomach.
so I would like to look at their digestive systems.
Yeah.
They don't have digestive systems.
Oh.
Also, which scanner did you use? Did you use the scanner
I use my hand scanner.
I know you use a hand scanner, but he had two hand scanners. One from the Lumin, one from the Drake.
Well, I would have used the Drake one.
Yep, that's what I figured.
I would like to see, do they have any DNA?
Yes, they do have DNA.
Okay. Can I get any type of reading, or is the scanner not strong enough to get?
The scanner's not strong enough from where you are. You would have to capture one and scan it like point blank.
Okay. And is it worth trying to capture it?
They're not very hard. They're just kind of flitting around in the air. The breeze is more or less taking them because there's a slight breeze and they're just trying to fight the breeze.
What do we have on us? Just sample containers?
Yeah. So we could use a sample container to collect some, but they don't have a digestive system, so it doesn't seem like they would be the one eating the wires or anything.
Well, they'll just.
Unless they're munching on it and spitting it out. Why, I have no idea, but.
What if they're nanite bugs?
You know, I think I'll capture some and I'll study them on our. Because
I do feel like Sova would at least like.
Yeah.
I mean, we're on a new planet. Like that's kind
Did you want to use the one point that you didn't use because you were like, can I do the DNA?
Yeah.
No, you can't do the DNA. Would you rather switch it and have you easily capture one?
Yeah, I'll use the one that we weren't able to use to scoop them.
Scoop them.
How many did you want to capture? Because
I'm just gonna use the sample container and
squish. You got 4 of them.
okay.
nice work.
So I'd like to close it and then I'll hop on the Jahan's personal ground vehicle in the back.
Okay.
That way I can scan them on their way.
Okay.
Make it go.
So who's going where?
So House
Yeah.
said he wanted to go with the nurse.
We're
to
going
science
to the
lab.
science lab.
Okay.
The other 3 of us are going to the quarry.
Okay. And are you going to drive quickly or are you going to drive slowly?
That's up to
I'm drunk, so I'm driving slow.
because who's the better driver of the 2 of you?
I don't know. Is that even a thing?
Because it's Khan. Who's got a better Khan?
Milek has a value in the faster the better.
So I would like Milek to be the driver.
It would be
So-
control con.
I did entrust my personal ground vehicle to the ambassador.
Oh, so I guess the ambassador's driving.
That was a mistake. Adrian, what's your con?
Mine is a 1.
Okay.
So.
Mine's
not
a 2.
with me.
And I have a talent in cautious.
All right. So I guess you're driving slowly. to
I'm
the
driving
science lab.
fast but cautiously.
Okay.
Keep in mind, going to the quarry will take a little bit longer.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
But that's why I figure we'll split up. So
It'll take about 7-8 minutes to drive up to the lab. It'll take about 15-18 minutes in that range,
that's fine.
as long as nothing goes wrong.
Because I'm thinking they'll probably have more. Because the quarry, we're just going to take rock samples. I figured the science lab, they're actually going to open drawers and, have to actually search it.
Well, there's not a whole lot of drawers because it's a bit of a shell that they're still trying to put together.
We still got to take it apart, find out what's going on. Have it be.
You start off, who wants to go first?
Goes it.
I think we should, since it's longer, we'll go first.
Okay.
Like a back view.
It's 5 different roles.
All right, Ambassador. You wanted to drive. Okay.
It's ton control. The first obstacle is a difficulty 1.
13 and 2.
Nice work.
There we go.
Because you have an extra 1,
Can we go faster?
you can go, but what I'll do is I'll -1 from one of the other ones.
Okay. So we'll do it from the last one, because I have a feeling that's the most difficult.
It was.
I knew it. I knew it.
His hat straps are flapping in the breeze, baby.
That's where like the clip is.
That's
Yeah.
right.
The next obstacle is difficulty 2.
You want to buy a dice? Do you feel comfortable?
I have something to interject here.
Okay.
So I have a talent called methodical planning, and it reads, when an ally attempts a task which benefits from a trait you created which represents your plan or strategy, then you may assist that ally's task even if you are not present.
Ooh.
Okay.
It's very
So I-
for this situation.
So since he's driving my personal ground vehicle,
He's very invested in this.
my presence lingers over you as you're driving. So is that acceptable for an assist?
That is acceptable.
Very good. I think it's the first time I've ever gotten to use this.
The next one is a difficulty of 2.
What were the things we're rolling for?
Con
Sorry.
control.
Con control, okay.
You're trying to control it from not being there.
One success, 14.
You got
I
one
got-
success.
I got my success. Yep.
Okay, good.
So you barely squeaked by that one.
He remembered my inspiring words. Be safe.
Yeah.
Well,
Remember, Ambassador left.
the next one is a difficulty 1.
Nine. And I don't want to say what the other one is, 20, but I got a success.
Am I still assisting?
Yeah.
Please do.
All right, we got a success.
Okay.
That do you want to use the extra success because it was difficulty 1? He got 1, but a 20. Do you want to use yours to negate the 20?
I would love to do that.
Okay. Phew. Because what it was going to be is the tire got stuck, but you helped it get out. The next one is another difficulty 1.
9 and 16, so another one success.
And one success here.
Okay, that will take 1 away from the last obstacle. That knocks it down to a 1.
8 and 9. 2 successes.
Wow, 2 successes.
Another success.
3 successes.
3 successes.
With the bank.
On the way back, how do you want to use that to knock down some of the difficulty as you're coming back?
Probably, yes.
Get there faster.
So I will keep the -2
I can do
for your ride back
Okay.
because you now have to do it in reverse order
Oh.
as you're coming back.
With a video game. Okay, so we're there.
You are at the quarry.
I'm gonna scan the rocks.
Okay. What you see in general is gray rocks. It looks like granite with black specks.
All right, I like to scan the rocks. It's coal.
The scanner picks up the gray rocks. It doesn't recognize the black specks.
Ooh.
What are you going to do?
I'm gonna take a sample of those. I'm gonna take a sample of all of it, but I'm gonna focus mostly on the black.
You keep in mind, it's tiny little specks of black in gray.
Yeah.
So you're just going to take chunks of rock.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I'm making sure I get as much black as I can.
Yeah, it's throughout the rock. So every chunk you take has little black specks on
All
it.
right, I would like to take whatever the container size that we have worth of black rock.
Ooh.
Okay. What do you have to take the samples? Because you're looking at large rocks that have been cut at.
So we have a sampling kit. So basically it's like a little gardening tool, little hammer,
They have
little
some
shovel.
hammers, chisels, things like that.
But they're little. They're
Yes. Keep in mind it's going to be a difficulty 2
okay.
to take the sample because it is hard rock.
All right. What's the thing?
It's going to be science
Mm-hmm.
because you're trying to take a science sample,
Yes.
and fitness because you're physically trying to do it.
Can I use a focus in athletics?
Sure.
All right. That's what I switched geology up for.
Smash rocks, but not to know what they are.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I crushed it. I got literally 4 successes.
Wow.
I have no idea what it is.
Just turns into power of the
My Vulcan strength is too much.
Turns into flour.
like Ben.
Because you have 2 extra,
Mm-hmm.
do you want to take a extra large sample with you?
Yes, I would like to basically fill up the container as much as possible.
Okay. When you take the chisel out, you see little indents in the chisel.
Ooh. I'd like to scan the chisel.
Okay. That would be difficulty 1, science, and insight.
Science insight. We're doing difficulty 1, 15. Okay, I don't think this would, no. I don't have any puzzles. So just one success.
One success, so you got your 1.
Mhm.
The spots where it is deformed back.
Mm.
So if you hold the chisel up to where you were striking,
Mhm.
those indents match up with the black specks.
Oh. So black specks like aided or deformed it or something.
For the very, very
It deformed it back into the chisel.
So it's like impervious to the chiseling.
Mm-hmm.
You slammed it, and the black specks did not.
Much like
Well, that's not good. That's not good. That's not good. What are we bringing back to the ship?
We might not want to bring this thing to the ship.
All right. So I would like to take the samples and load it into the ground vehicle.
Okay. And you still have -2 points.
Mm-hmm.
Which ones do you want to take it off of? Because you are now going in reverse order.
So it would be the first one because you said the last one was the most difficult.
Yes.
So I would like the first.
Do you want -1 or -2?
We'll do -1, and then the third one we'll do a -1.
Okay.
Are we driving again?
The
Yes.
first one will be a difficulty 2.
Mhm.
Because originally it was a difficulty 3.
12-2. 2 successes.
Very nice.
Yep.
3 successes.
3 successes?
Well, no, just one for me, but 3
Okay.
total.
3 successes altogether.
3 successes altogether. So that was the difficulty 2. You still have a -1.
Yes.
Which one do you want to take it off of?
We will take it off of the second to last one.
Okay. The next one is a difficulty 1.
Mm-hmm.
8-4. 2 successes.
Very nice.
Success here.
We have 2 extra. I'm not going to do that.
2 extra. You now have a difficulty 0 all the way.
Well.
You can choose to not roll and you are there because you are full up on.
It doesn't
Right.
help us though.
Yeah.
We're just gonna auto move.
Yeah.
He no longer needs my guidance. He's
No.
fully in charge.
Now, are you going fast? You said you're going fast up to the lab?
I'm driving cautious. I have a talent in cautious.
Okay, so you're driving slow?
Let's just do it as easy as possible.
So you're going to go extra slow? They're just going to have to wait for you for a little while.
That's fine. They can.
So your first one is difficulty 2.
I'll buy a momentum then for this one specifically.
That way you can re-roll if you need to.
Yeah. I need a 12. Oh my god. 15, 20, and 18.
Uh-oh. Are you going to re-roll the 20?
Yeah, you can roll 20. 10.
You got 1 success?
Yeah.
1 success.
As he was going up over the hill, the tire spun and sank. He hit a soft spot.
So we're stopped.
So he stopped. Now he needs to roll to try and get it unstuck.
Okay, that's definitely a team roll. Because we're gonna.
She can assist you on this one.
So what am I rolling for?
Let's do fitness command.
Fitness command?
Yep. It's going to be a difficulty 1.
Well, I got a 2. This is a success.
One success.
So you got a total of 3. So it was a difficulty 1 just because all you did, the tire sank. So do you want to use that extra 1? Well,
Because we were missing 1.
he bought 1. Do you want to bank it or do you want to use it to try and lower the difficulty?
That seems
Yeah, let's do
good.
that. Let's lower it.
Lower the difficulty
Yeah.
of 2 or 3.
Whatever.
Because you have 2 obstacles in front of you. They're both the same at this point.
Okay. Let's lower the difficulty of the next one.
Okay, the next one went down to 0.
So nothing. I didn't get anything.
Okay. Well.
Oh, it was a difficulty of 0.
No momentum back.
Mhm.
And the next one is a difficulty 1.
Okay.
You're
I'll
gonna-
buy a momentum. Okay. 3.
Yeah, 3.
3 successes.
There's a difficulty of what?
That was a difficulty of 1.
So we can bank the 2.
Yeah.
Make it a 2.
Made up for it in the end.
And you're at the lab, which is basically a shell of a building. There's some partial walls going up, but it is literally a frame. There's a couple storage boxes there, but not much else.
All right. I'd like to look into one of the boxes.
Okay. There are 2.
Take one each.
Which one would you like to open?
We're both gonna open one at the same time.
Adri opens hers and sees tools in order to build the place.
Okay.
You open yours and it is completely empty with a hole in the bottom.
Ooh. Were they?
In the corner, there's a tiny hole, and it is
Bullet
a
doctor.
metal box.
They were collecting something that ate through the box.
Wow. Okay. I'd like to scan the box with both scanners.
I could do the same time.
Yeah.
That will be science insight.
Okay.
You gotta roll twice because you're scanning with them both.
Okay.
Difficulty 1.
You want? Okay.
Yeah, I'll be good. Whoa.
Declare.
2 successes. This is the Federation scanner.
Okay, 2 successes with the Federation scanner.
All right, so now I'm rolling for the other scanner. Okay. 1.
1 success.
Yes.
So you have 1 extra because you rolled 2. Are we able to bank that, or do you want to use it to get?
We can't bank.
Or
Okay,
so
so you want to gain extra information.
yeah.
As you're scanning, you are picking up food crumbs, and you're picking up a toxin. You are
Okay.
picking up trace amounts of food, as well as you are picking up on the scanner, the Federation scanner, you're picking up, in general, a toxin.
The rations are in compromise because that's what they were eating on the ship. Oh.
The thing is Dr. Hall was eating the rations, and the captain said he did not have any signs of the neurotoxin.
Yeah, but it's weird. Dr. Hall is the only one eating rations on the ship.
No. A bunch of people switched over to eating rations.
Can I localize the toxins in the scanner?
Because you have the 1 extra, the scanner that you got from the Lumin says that it's the neurotoxin.
It is the exact neurotoxin.
It is the exact neurotoxin.
Can I take a sample of the toxin that's present?
Yes,
Is it a?
as long as you have a sample kit that
Yeah, it would be a glass sample kit.
you see little crumbs and you see little bits of liquid on the
Okay.
bottom.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
And the
Yeah.
liquid is coming up with the neurotoxin.
Okay. So I'd like to.
It's not showing up in large amounts. If you had scanned farther back, it wouldn't have shown up. But because you were
There's
point blank,
residue.
it is showing. And the
Okay.
hole is about the size of like your thumbnail.
Okay.
It is a tiny little hole, but it is there and it's jagged edges.
All right, I'd like to put that liquid in a sample tube. Do I have
Okay.
to roll for that? Maybe? We have full momentum.
You can spend a momentum or you can roll for it.
I'll use the momentum to get the best sample anyone's ever gathered.
Okay, you swab it, you get really good sample, you put it in, and you do not get contaminated in any way.
Nice.
Excellent.
Okay, now I would like to move the box.
Okay?
Is it a heavy box?
It's a steel box,
Okay.
so it has some heft to it.
So I say, Tahana,
It's about
move the box.
like
I call them muscle.
it's technically a
My leg.
two-man box, about 5 feet long and about 2 feet wide,
Oh, it's
2
like
feet
a-
tall.
Like a steamer trunk.
Yeah.
Right. I just easily lift it and put it over here. Wow.
All right, so what do we see when we move the box? Like what's on the ground where that hole was? Anything?
Just ground. There's really nothing there. The ground is solid rock.
So nothing burrowed underneath or?
No. They chose that spot to build it because it has a solid base, so that there's no issues with the science lab. As you know, there are soft spots around because your tire got stuck in one.
Yeah.
But here it is solid rock. There's nothing here.
Is there a link between like a preservative chemical in the ration and a natural occurring chemical in any of these rock formations?
Do you want to scan for it?
Yes.
I'll do a difficulty 1.
Okay, what am I doing?
You're doing science insight because you're trying to gain insight from your scan.
Okay. No, I failed, which is a bummer. Oh. Okay, that one worked.
You got
So
one.
one success.
The rocks around you are just rocks. You're not picking up anything on those rocks, except every now and then you do pick up a trace amount of the neurotoxin.
Interesting.
Can we localize the traces?
You can scan them to see if there's anything else mixed in with your samples.
But it's just this scan is basically just kind of like it's in the area, that sort of thing. Not like you can't like pinpoint like it's not like a large amount of it. It's just
it's trace amounts here and there all over the ground.
if we were to look at it
Yeah.
on the ground, is it the same type of liquid that was in the box?
Yes. If you do the scan, it's the same neurotoxin in the box as on the ground.
Okay. So if it's a liquid, that means that they would have had to have been ingesting it then for it to affect them.
You can do a scan on the samples because you haven't tested the samples
Oh,
yet.
yeah, you're right.
You have a really, really good sample that you've done nothing with.
Yeah.
Sample.
I always want to take it back to the ship and do all my research. But yeah, I can do it in the field.
You want to do
lower
an
intel.
initial scan?
Yeah.
With what scanner? Both of them or one?
Can I hold the Starfleet one and he uses
I
the
think the Lumin,
Yeah,
wasn't
you
the
both
Lumin one
can-
better?
You both can hold a scanner and you both can check for samples.
Okay.
I think the Lumin had more information, I think,
Oh,
if I remember.
that's a good, more data, more file. Oh, good point. Okay, so I'll take the
Not that I narrowed it
Starfleet.
up.
Yeah, I know. I'll take the Starfleet scanner and you can use the more advanced one.
Yeah, I'll use the
They're
Lumin.
the exact same
Oh, they're-
scanner, it's just
oh, they-
there's more information in the Lumin scanner.
Gotcha.
To have been here.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, plus they
So-
really kind of know what they're doing on this planet.
Well, it was programmed by Dr. Hall with the absolute, the information from the neurotoxin.
Yeah.
So you absolutely know that's the neurotoxin, whereas the scanner from the Drake just came up as it's a toxin, but didn't have real specifics on it.
go with
Yeah,
it.
so it's more pinpoint.
Science insight. You're trying to gain insight from your scan.
Okay, so.
And each of you roll 2 dice because you're both doing your own scan with a
Okay.
different scanner.
So I succeeded.
Difficulty 1.
Difficulty 1. Unless you're looking for lots and lots of information, which would be a difficulty 2.
Okay. I got 1 success.
And I got 2, actually.
Are we able to bank it or does she need to use? Do
You can
You can
make.
make one.
Let's
you
make
want
it.
to bank it or do you
Might as
want
well.
extra information?
Make it. Or use for information.
The doctor.
Your extra information would be off the Drake scanner,
Yes.
so it wouldn't really get us any.
We can save it.
extra, yeah.
All right, bang it.
Can I use a momentum to get extra information off of?
I will allow it
Yeah.
if you want to burn the momentum.
Yeah, burn it.
You both do the scan, you both come up with the neurotoxin, but you also come up with urine.
Oh.
Specifically from your scanner, from the Lumin, it comes up with rodent urine.
Okay. Okay. See, I forgot that those existed too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can I do
Okay.
a scan for any nearby rodent mammals?
Colony.
Sure. Are you doing it from where you are, or are you going to move to a different location?
I'd like to do it from where I am,
Okay.
since that box was chewed through. Like, maybe there's something around here.
It's going to be a difficulty 1 from where you are, and it's going to be science bidding on presence.
Okay, I will buy a momentum. I need a 13. 2, 7, no, 2, 4, and 17. So I got 2 successes.
Okay. Do you want to bank it, or do you want to gain
I would
a
use
better
it.
scan?
Yeah, I would use it to get a good scan and pinpoint anything if I can.
With 1, if you had gone for 1, you would have gotten nothing. But because you used it, you got a blip.
Ooh.
But it's very hard to tell exactly where it is. It looks like it came from the bushes
Okay.
in that direction. Because the bushes were off to your left, the trees were
Yeah.
off to your right.
Can I slowly walk toward the bush?
Yes, you can slowly walk toward the bush.
I'd like to walk as close to the bush as possible.
Okay.
Well,
Doctor, perhaps I could cut my arm and they would eat my blood.
Would you like to do a roll, and I'll tell you whether or not that would work?
If you're allowing that, yeah. What am I rolling?
Insight security. Difficulty 1.
I failed. I got a 15. Oh, I needed a 13.
Let me see.
I did. So
Let me try it.
oh, I keep forgetting to roll 2 dice.
Yep.
Okay, that was a 12. Okay, so that was a success.
I rolled a delta 2.
So you got
Sorry.
you got a
I
success.
got 1 success, yeah. Sorry, I keep forgetting to roll
The
2.
blood would not.
Would not work. Okay. Worth a thought.
Oh.
They have never
bleeding.
they have never had blood, so they don't know to eat blood.
Okay. Plus it's green Vulcan blood.
Come and get it.
Plus, do you want to start having them feed on blood as scientists are trying to come here to build a science lab?
We're not under the
No.
laws of the Prime Directive, so it really doesn't
It
matter.
depends on what these people are trying to do. If they're nefarious, then
Well, that's what you need to figure out.
I don't really mind
Well-
harming them alive. But
You don't need to figure it out. The main thing you came here to do is to figure out why is everybody getting sick.
Having a rodent would really help.
You could also see if they're on the ship and capture one on the ship.
You think the ship's infected with rodents?
They keep getting infected.
That
so it
is
a
a-
possibility.
They're tiny. They're very tiny.
So basically, they snuck on board of probably on a,
Crate
in
or
a
something.
crate, and then they started peeing all over the ship.
As you do.
It's similar to the Black Plague, only instead of ticks, it's pee.
Yeah. So let's just try this before we leave. If I walk over to that bush, will I be able to see it run away, or will it freeze?
You see small cracks in the rock. It's softer there. You also need to be careful because it is a softer spot.
Oh, like they burrow in the stone
Yes.
and it gives
Well,
way to
they found a softer spot, and
so they must have very sharp teeth.
like
Either that or they
mountain.
peed on the rock and it dissolved.
Oh, that's
if I can't see anything in the bush, then my next step would be to go back to the Drake.
Dr. House, perhaps we could send a team of ensigns to try and trap one of these rodents while we scan the ship.
That would be logical.
Thank you.
So you guys gonna head back to the shuttle?
Yeah. I'd like to scan the shuttle when we get on it to see if there's any stowaways.
I understand.
All right, let's drive back to the ship.
It's a difficulty 2 on control.
You want to buy any dice?
No, I want to get stuck and have to Hannah lift it out again. I got 2 successes.
Very nice.
Yep. You got past the first obstacle.
Woo.
The next one is difficulty 1.
Okay.
This is where you build up momentum.
We are stuck.
Uh-oh.
Do I get anything for rolling 2 18s?
Nope.
Snake eyes.
You get a branch that one of the small trees just kind of got lodged in there. You need to pull it out.
Yeah. So I just kind of turn around and I look at Hannah.
Take her
How
early
about
work.
you drive into the tree and then you get her? Please save me.
First of all, she has more strength than I do. Second of
Whoa.
all, these hands are way too pretty.
We're gonna do
They're in charge of far
fitness
too much.
security, difficulty 1.
These hands are too beautiful. Not that we hold utensils.
You got 2 successes.
Oh, very nice. Are you gonna bank it or use it?
Let's make the next one
We use
less
it to make it,
difficult.
yeah, to get back faster and safer.
-1 to the next obstacle. It is now a difficulty 1.
Delta.
Very nice. Yeah, 2.
2 bank 1.
Make 1.
Unless I can use that extra to get back to the ship now.
It's a- With the 1, you'll be at the ship,
Okay.
so you could bank the 1.
Bank it.
Make it.
So are you guys going to get onto the shuttle?
No, he's gonna remember.
I want to scan it before we get
Well,
up.
I'm asking, is he scanning from the outside or the inside? Or both?
And scan yourself, make sure you don't got anything on it.
I would know if there's a rodent on it.
You say that now.
I'm covered in pee.
I never asked if you guys closed the door to the shuttle.
Oh.
Did you close it or did you leave it open?
I think we feel like
It's
we would.
standard
close-
Starfleet procedure to
Yeah.
close the door. I mean,
I don't think that we would leave
Yeah.
it stored.
I'm just asking.
Yeah, no, that's a good, yep.
Because if nobody said anything, it's, oh, you left the door open.
but if we left it open, then we would get our sample even.
That's true. But I do.
Who was the last out?
So what a shadow.
Yeah, he was.
So door was closed.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to do a scan of the underside of the ship where all the wires and things are. All the heat and wires.
We'll do science insight,
Okay.
difficulty 1.
The whiskey's wearing off. 2 successes.
Nice.
You banking one, you're using it.
I want to use every ability possible to find this.
Nothing underneath the ship. Because you use it up off. Remember, they made this space to land shuttles, so
Yeah.
solid rock.
Uh-huh.
Off to the side, where there's some bushes, you got a very slight signal.
Probably gonna be another
These
crash.
bushes. He keeps leading me down these bushes. All right. No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm not gonna go. I say, hey, Sova, how's your bugs?
Yeah, they're okay. They didn't bring any results for them.
Interesting. We found results.
What did you find?
Well, we found a lot of pee.
You pee. Are you speaking of urine?
Yes, Nova, he's speaking of urine.
Do you know what is urinating?
Well, yeah, as a matter of fact, I do. It appears to be some sort of rodent life form on this planet that has been eating rations and secreting toxins in their urine.
Very interesting. I would like to scan for these rodents.
Not find your
Okay.
humor.
Since you know about where they are, it will be a difficulty 1, and it'll be science insight.
Science inside 50. I'm using zoology focus,
Okay,
so I have 4 successes.
you have 4 successes.
Wow. Because I rolled a 3 and a 4.
Nice.
So
I'm baking 1, and I'm using the
3?
other.
You're using total 3, 2 extra.
Yes.
So do you want to use them for questions, or do you want really good scans, or what do you want to do with them?
I want like the most fantastic bioscan ever.
Don't we all? Didn't we?
There are several
In the bush.
small mice directly underneath the bush.
Okay.
You see several little tunnels going in multiple different directions, but you also see one larger mouse with several little babies attached to it.
Oh.
Kill it.
It's under the soil too.
It is there. The other ones are keeping their distance, but they are all moving around the female with the babies.
But this is all underground.
This is all underground. This is all within like a meter round section underneath the bush.
Okay. So I would like to go into the shuttle and get some rations.
Okay.
I would like to make a trap using the
Since you have all that stuff with you there.
A stick in a box.
I mean, I would have done that too. I didn't have anything where I was.
I would like to use rope from and basically make a trap. So that way when they go in I can pull it and it was shut.
They did it through a toolbox.
What would the trap be made out of?
I'll ask Dr. House. Do you have a suggestion of the material?
Nah.
Did they have any type of
No. No, you remember that lab you sent me to?
yeah?
That was just a bunch of 2x4s, really. There was no lab.
But did you notice the rats interacting with
They ate through a metal box, is all I can tell you.
Okay, so I won't use metal, so I'll use a glass container.
Okay. So you have like a round jar.
Yep, with the top. And so when it folds up and then the top goes on it.
What kind of top?
Basically, they fall into the jar.
No, actually no, I like that, but yeah, I'm gonna have a little ramp, and so they go up, and then I'll have like a leaf, so they'll,
Mhm.
when they try to get to the ration.
There you go.
Okay.
I'm making the bucket trap.
Yep.
I like it.
You put the ration on.
Mhm.
You put the jar down,
Mhm.
and you step back.
Yep, and I tell everybody to hide,
Yeah.
because movement is gonna scare them.
You see several very quickly come up, and they're tiny little things, and they just start going to town on the ration. They are falling into the glass jar and jumping up a meter out of the glass jar, landing and running right back to the ration.
Really? How?
And as you're standing there, as it's disappearing, more and more of them are coming out. You started with several, and all of a sudden you have 14 more coming out, attacking it.
I'm wondering, can we do a wide beam phaser to just try to stun them?
Keep in mind, the ration is disappearing very quickly because lots of them are coming and chowing down on this thing.
That's why I'd like to quickly and then fire.
Several of them are jumping up the air out of the beam. Keeping that in mind, you will have to roll a security control difficulty 2.
Difficulty 2.
Because they are jumping and running back. So you have to make sure you time it just right.
I'm going to use a momentum, so I can use 3 dice. I got 2 successes.
2 successes?
Yeah.
When you shoot, 2 or 3 of them are down. The rest of them, when the ration is gone, they jump and they're gone.
So I like to walk up and scoop up with the glass and stick the top on.
Yep, you have 3 of them in the jug.
Okay. So I said, I look at Dr. House, I hand it to him. I say, I believe these are what you were looking for.
Yeah. Here's the big. We won't know really until we get back to the ship.
Yeah. So I would say, unless anyone else has something they wish to do, I think we should return to the ship.
Heading back to the ship?
All right. So we're heading back to the ship. And on the way, I'll inform Jahan of what happened.
You're heading back to the Drake?
Yep.
Just to make sure, because there are 2 ships.
Because we have an advanced science lab on the Drake.
Yeah.
I am going to new scene -1.
Okay.
So stay tuned for next time when we return to the Drake and check out what rodent urine is all about.
We'll see you.
Tomorrow starts with us today. Fly with the Drake, strong and true. Side by side we'll break on through. Bold and brave we light the way. Tomorrow starts with us today. Bold and brave we light the way. Tomorrow starts with us too.